Well, hi Thomas, how you doing?
Howdy, Neil. How's it going?
It's going well, very, very well. We've got some good news, haven't we? We've made a milestone.
Yes, the Pendle Witch film is now completed and uploaded and ready for its broadcast date in September.
We're going to premiere it at the Mysterious Earth Conference 2023 on the 2nd and the 3rd of September. So we'll start the conference off with that. And the film is, well, it's good, isn't it? It's not ourselves, but you're the editor. It's looking really good.
Well, if you're happy with it, I'm happy with it. I think it's the best film I've done to date. It's we have some. It's really a classy production.
I think so, and it's the Pendle Witches, and it's up in Lancashire, so it'll be coming home. It's called Alizons Lament, the Pendle Witch story retold, an occulted insight. The book's already out, and that is here. So I've got the book, and I've got the film. So we're going to start the conference like we did last year with the Atlantis film and book. We'll do the same again with this. So that'll be the first hour watching the film. Whichever the conference is anyway, it's in St Anne's-on-Sea. Really looking forward. It's our 15th year now, 15th year of the conference, Mysterious Earth Conference 2023. Obviously, Thomas is going to be doing the conference with me, so we got some brilliant speakers, haven't we?
We do indeed. In fact, if I wasn't actually at the conference, I'd be definitely going. It's so good. A lot of people we know, but they're all two of the speakers. Well, actually, four of them are doing their very first ever presentation.
Yeah, especially for us.
That's really amazing, actually. And the diversity of the topics is really, really impressive.
I mean, Greg Moffitt is his first one. We probably all know Greg from
Legalized Freedom.
Yeah, from his website, legalizedfreedom.com. Now, he's called his talk Megaliths in the Movies, the Power of the Past in Popular Culture. So that's like a whole new thing, isn't it? I was so excited about that.
Yeah, the whole hauntology thing, that whole well, he's covered an awful lot on his own channel. I've done a few shows with him on it, and it's a fantastic subject. It's a subject that's not gets enough airing out there because it's another side again of ancient sites and ancient mysteries told through the kind of seer-like aspects of movies and things like that. And I think, like, if you go into this world that we're into, and you're only, dealing with the factual stuff, you're only dealing with you're only halfway in the door. I think things like films and TV shows that deal with the kind of, the mysteries and stuff like that, and that kind of thing, Quatermass and all that stuff, that for me personally has added a huge dynamic to my own research and study, as well as enjoyment. So it's great to see Greg getting out there and doing this, because it's important that this stuff is brought into conferences like this, because to me it's like half the mix, really, and why you should take an interest in this stuff. It fires the imagination. It's filled with all kinds of other emotions and stuff that you can enjoy ancient mystery and ancient sites on a whole new level.
Yeah, it's taking you back to probably some of the first things that we saw that cover these subjects, the Children of the Stones and to the Quatermass and all these things. So it'll be like a flash to the beginning again, won't it? Flash of the past.
Yeah, I think those shows and those movies back in the 60s and especially Quatermass 4 in the late 70s, 79. I think a lot of the people involved in megaliths actually saw those, and Children of the Stones as well, saw that stuff as kids, and suddenly noticed that these things are probably more than just rocks sticking out of the ground. There could be another story here. So that's why it's so important, this stuff.
I remember seeing them myself and thinking, what on earth are these things? It's fires your imagination. It's like laying a seed when you're younger that flourishes later on. So that's Greg, and that's really good because, like I say, Greg's a friend, and this is his first public lecture like this. So we're really lucky for him to agree to do it. Neil, Rushton, and Kate Ray The talk is fairies in the land in a landscape. The case of the Willerton gnomes. Now, you know Neil and Kay, don't you? And I don't know about the Willerton gnomes, so I'm fascinated to find out.
Well, I don't know enough about the meter and the gnomes, that is, that particular case, and I want to know about it. I've been following both for years, and Neil has a fantastic blog called Dead But Dreaming. And I found out through him through an article in 40 Times where he was talking about Charles Bonnet syndrome, which he has, which may be allowed to make you peer into other worlds. And I found he's a terribly interesting man, and very, and him and Kate make a fantastic team. And yeah, I mean, and I followed Kate's the Hair and the Hawthorne channel for a long time. So like they're two really interesting, nice people, and I'm that's one I'm looking forward to. It's like Christmas Day in terms of this stuff. I'll be sitting there taking notes as well. Yeah,
Neil's a big name, isn't it? Really, and he's an academic. Is it Cambridge? He was at.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet, but he was a trained archaeologist, and he trained with the top people. I think he comes from Merseyside area originally, but yeah, I mean he's been all over. He has his knowledge of sites is incredible.
Okay, so that's Neil and Kate, and of course Peter and Sue's back. Good old Peter Knight. Now, I asked Peter to do this talk particularly because we're both, Thomas and I, are both very interested in that period where these islands changed from pagan ideas into Christianity. It didn't just jump from one thing into the other. There was a phasing between the two, and it's that phasing that I'm really interested in, and Thomas is as well. So Peter Knight wrote the book Stolen Images. He wrote it a couple of years ago. So I asked him to come and do this talk because it's going to give us, I hope, some insight into how things shifted across and how Christianity ended up using some of the images from paganism.
Yeah, Stolen Images is one of my favorite books on the subject. It's a beautiful looking book too as well, filled with loads of colored illustrations. Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen Peter talk a few times, but that's the subject that I discovered him through, and I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, so I'm really pleased that he's decided to do that. So that's a real bonus. Peter Yankowski, he's an artist. He was on last year, but his book hadn't been released then. It's called Ancestors Awakening, so he's going to blend in his art with the ancient stones and the ancestors. So I haven't seen the book yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But Peter's a lovely guy, and he's a very professional speaker.
Yeah, I've been friends with Peter going back 10 years more, maybe. And I first met him in Manchester probably 11, 12 years ago. We hit it off right away, and he's a fantastic artist. And again, this is like what Greg is doing with the culture, the pop culture, movies and cinema, and Peter is doing with art. It's like you have ancient sites, megaliths, and mysteries, and you have these other ways of approaching it. So that's the way Peter's doing it that way. So it's like, again, it's another way to enjoy this stuff and to think about it and to imagine it. I think in some ways are probably coming back to what the actual people who built the stones were like, because they would have applied all this kind of similar stuff too. Art, stories, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so we've got this like central hub of the subject, and we're looking at it from different directions, which is what the conference is all about, really. So that's going to be great. We've got Peter back. Martin Morrison. Martin does the Before Caledonia YouTube channel. Now he's based up in Scotland. He's a Scottish guy, and his YouTube is fantastic. He goes around doing little videos of all the different areas around Scotland, and he's going to do the ancient sites of Dumfries and Galloway. And I tell you, his photography is A1. It really is. I'm a bit of a photographer myself, and Martin's stuff is like brilliantly done, and it's all his videos. And we got Dumfries and Galloway. Sorry, Thomas. Go on.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. I don't know anything about the megaliths in that area, but we know about his work on the recumbent stone circles in Aberdeenshire, And that's when he came onto my radar. And he's a lovely man too, as well.
Yes.
And yeah, he really knows how to photograph sites.
Yeah, so that's going to be. I mean, we do the sites of Dumfries and Galloway on a tour. So
Yeah.
give us a bit of insight on one of the tours, and hopefully, if you fancy it, you can come along.
Yep.
Jason Happenstall. Now, Jason's going to talk about Feeding of the Trolls, Modern Scandinavia, Ancient Archetypes.
Again, the new thing again, there's very little info in the English-speaking world on the Scandinavian sites and the folklore connected to them. A friend of mine here in Ireland, Jack Roberts, who's a well-known character in that scene here, he goes to Scandinavia a fair bit, and he's giving me some books on it. And it's a whole other world we don't know enough about here. So Jason will be actually finally. I'm not aware of anyone really going deep into the Scandinavian stuff in the English-speaking world. So he lived in Denmark for years. His family are basically Danish. His own immediate family they lives here. He lives in England now. But so you're getting on the ground info from someone who actually speaks Danish. So that's going to be a really an insightful one, I think.
Yeah, I'm quite excited about that myself, because I've seen these in books, but I've never been. So hopefully I'm going to have a word with Jason, see if I can sort out going over there and seeing them for myself, because it's a whole area. We've done Britain and Ireland and the Mediterranean, but I haven't done the ones over in Scandinavia yet. But so it's a whole new area to look into. So I'll be getting over there hopefully. And the last, but not least, speaker is Wayne Gatfield, and his talk is called Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Now, Wayne is he's in charge of the Theosophical Society for the Northwest, and he's a registered speaker with them, and he just goes around all around the country doing talks. And I know him well because he comes on a lot of tours. So I finally persuaded him to come on board and do one. So we're very lucky. We've got a fantastic lineup there. Actually, one of the best ever, wouldn't you say?
Best since I've been there. Definitely the best in terms of diversity. There's something for everybody.
Yeah, fantastic lineup. So it'll start off, like I say, with the Pendle Witch film, and then there'll be, after the break, Thompson herself will take questions on the film like we did last year, and I'm going to do the introducing on the first day, and Thomas, you're going to do the second day, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be the MC for the second day, so the Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Looking forward to it. Oh yeah, and in St. Anne's-on-Sea, there's loads of hotels, but we're staying in the Inn on the Prom, and quite a few of the speakers are staying there, and a lot of people booked in. So hopefully, the Inn on the Prom can be our hub on the Saturday evening at least, to get together and have a bit of a mooch.
What's the name of the hotel?
It's called the Inn on the Prom,
and it's in walking distance of the venue.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes walk to the venue, but there's a huge car park at both. So, well, it is definitely walking distance because I've done it many times, and it's on the seafront there. It's called an inn, but it's actually a big hotel.
I think I know it actually. I think I know the building. Yeah.
So that's it. So it's the tickets you can get from the Megalithic Tours website. If you look on the website on the top right, it says Mysterious Earth Conference. Click on that. You'll see a list of all the speakers, and down the bottom, you can just book your tickets. They are going fast. Well, last year we had to cancel the sale because the room got filled up so quickly. So get your ticket as soon as you can. And like I say, St. Anne's-on-Sea is at the YMCA there. Saturday the 2nd, and Sunday the 3rd of September. And see you there, eh? See you there.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be lots of fun too, not just interesting, but it'll be a lot of fun also.
Right. So that's it. See you soon.
See you soon.